Are you happy with pilot training costs in Canada? Did you know that pilot training is very expensive?
Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna talk about the costs of doing pilot training here in Canada. A lot of people ask me every day how much is the complete training, how much is PPL and CPL, how much is multi-IFR and those things. So today I decided to make a video about the costs of doing pilot training here in Canada. The prices I'm gonna show here are the same, doesn't matter if you're from Canada, if you're from Brazil, from India, it's all the same. If you wanna come to Canada to become a pilot, probably your goal is to get to the airlines one day. And if you want to go to the airlines, you need more than just your private license and your commercial license. If you decide to come to Canada just to do your PPL and your CPL, you can do that. It might be a little hard for you to get a job once you're done with your CPL. Normally people looking for pilots, they want pilots with more qualifications, more experience, and especially if you're coming from abroad to build a career here, it might be good to have also multi-IFR, maybe instructor rating. Those open more doors for you and apply for an airline sometime soon, if that's what you want. But if you want to do just PPL and CPL, that's gonna cost you around 55 to 60,000 Canadian dollars. It depends on the school you're flying, depends what aircraft you're using. I'm gonna show some prices here that are from my school. Normally we fly Cessna's 172 Piper Warriors. They are 4-seater planes, they're bigger than Cessna 152s. And for the multi-IFR, we use a Piper Seneca 3. And we also have simulators for instrument work. So don't take all the numbers I'm gonna give you as the final truth. Prices might vary from school to schools. A lot of schools in Canada, they don't really show you the full price with taxes, fuel, and other expenses. Ask your school how much exactly you're expected to pay for the complete training. If, like a lot of students, you want to do your private, commercial, multi and multi-IFR, you can expect to pay around 77,000 Canadian dollars. That's gonna give you a complete training for you to start working maybe as a co-pilot for a multi-engine plane carrying cargo, transporting passengers around the province, carrying hospital transfers, and if you're willing to go far away, you can always go to the north of the provinces or to the center of Canada, more distant lands with cold and harsh winters. And there's a lot of small towns that always need pilots to transport doctors, judges. They can't really drive really far, and sometimes there are no commercial flight options for those people to move around. So they need a lot of pilots up there. It's a lot of bush flying in Canada as well. A lot of students, though, they consider doing the training with PPL, CPL, multi-IFR, and instructor rating. The instructor rating path is one of the easiest ones to land a job. There is always a demand somewhere for instructors. A lot of the schools take their own students as instructors. That's my plan. Hopefully later this year I can finish my training and become an instructor with Canadian Aviation College. It would be really nice. I'm really excited for that. As an instructor, of course, you get paid to work and you also gather more hours and experience for you to apply for other jobs later in your career. It's really good when you're applying if you already have experience being an instructor for a while. People normally like that. It's easier to land a job after being an instructor than fresh from flight school without any experience. And the cost for the complete training from PPL to flight instructor already with multi-IFR is around 97,000 Canadian dollars. Prices might vary from time to time depending on gas prices, inflations, and all of that. This is the price as of today. Depending on when you watch this video, the prices might be wrong. So always make sure to double check the prices in the school's websites. Normally schools always keep their training costs up to date in their websites. If not, you can always send them an email and make sure things are correct. I know flight training can be really expensive and a lot of people just want to know what's the cheapest flight school, how cheap can I do my flight training for, and you need to be really careful when trying to get the cheapest price. Just like anything in life, you can always buy the cheaper option, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna get the same for your money. If you go for a flight school just because it's the cheapest one, you might take longer to get your license. Sometimes the airports are really busy and you have to wait extra time inside the plane before taking off and landing. Some airports are further away from practice areas, so there's extra flying for you to do before practicing any air maneuvers. And all of that in the long run is gonna take a huge chunk of your training hours just sitting inside a plane on the ground waiting for traffic to clear you for takeoff. And that can get really expensive really fast. In a multi-engine aircraft, prices can go up to $550 per hour. So you're basically wasting $8 every minute you cannot take off. Boundary Bay Airport is a good example about that. A lot of students are very frustrated when taking off from Boundary Bay Airport. You always have traffic. It's really hard for you to get circuit training, and it's also far from practice area. So sometimes choosing a flight school just to save some money can be more expensive in the long run. You're gonna have to fly more. And if the school is super cheap, it's probably gonna be super crowded, so it's harder for you to get bookings. They're less flexible, and that can be really hard for a student pilot trying to get bookings and as many flights as possible to build hours fast. So make sure to talk with students from the schools you're planning to do. Check their feedback on how easy it is to get bookings, how fast they can get their training done, how many times they can fly per week, how long they normally wait before taking off, can they do circuits in their airports, is the practice area far. All of those things matter a lot when choosing a flight school. Don't go for the cheapest one just to save a few $1,000s, because you're gonna regret it for sure. I know some people that moved to my school from other schools around Vancouver because they were really unhappy with bookings, maintenance, and schedule in general. So sometimes it is good to pay a little bit extra and have the peace of mind and a quality training offered to you.
Oh, another thing people ask me a lot, can I get a scholarship? No, I'm very sorry. I don't know any schools that give scholarships for international students here, but if you do know about it, please comment down below, and I'll pin the comment as the first one so other people can see it. And also, can I get a loan in Canada? I also think that's not an option for international students. I think that if you want to get a loan here, you need to have a house or business as collaterals, just in case if you cannot pay your loan, they can take that from you. Banks are not here to do charity, and they always want to get something out of it. So I don't think international students can get loan in Canada, especially before coming here. But if you know something about it and it's different from what I think is true, I'll also comment and I'll also pin on the top. Okay.
If you have any questions about pilot, the battery is gonna die once. If you have any questions about pilot training, just hit me up on Instagram. The link is down in the description. This year I'm gonna make a video per week, every week. So make sure you subscribe for more content about aviation and life in Vancouver as an international student. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.